I think the primary benefit of the addictive personality is one of energy. The energy is able to be controlled in a particular direction or a couple of different directions, or it can be dissipated into many different areas, many different unhealthy areas as well. The energy can be quite unclear, scattered, dirty in a sense when it's not healthy. It can also be very focused, controlled energy. For whatever reason, I think people with the addictive personality tend to be able to achieve certain levels of mastery that others can't. And they label it an addictive personality these days because of the artificial things that we're able to get addicted to. Tens of thousands of years ago, they didn't exist. So I believe the people with the addictive personalities were just the ones with certain types of energy that were the builders, the creators, the defenders, the truth seekers. You find when you meet people with the who say they have an addictive personality, a lot of them are quite insightful, kind, empathetic people. Some of them are very intelligent. I would say most of them. But that can obviously be affected if they fall into the addictive trap, like drug addiction, for too long. Then we see where that leads. It can cause brain damage and a lot of issues. But generally, it starts from a place of someone who is seeking, who has this energy to seek. They want to seek truth. They want to seek success. They want to make things better. They want to achieve mastery. It's the energy of achievement, the energy of focus. It's just that if we cause the energy to be unclean, so for example, if we're unhealthy, if we eat poorly, if we don't exercise, if we have addictions to things like drugs, alcohol, binge eating, porn, anything artificial that artificially affects the brain's dopamine, our energy goes towards that direction because it's easier. And then the energy becomes unclean, or unclear is probably a better word for it. The unclear energy of an addictive personality can destroy themselves and the people around them. It's very powerful nonetheless. Our addictive energy is a superpower in this world. It can bring the greatest amount of success or the greatest amount of self-destruction. Either way, it is a superpower, a super energy that can achieve or destroy anything that it wants. We just need to know how to focus it. And I know people with this, and I do relate, a lot of them get diagnosed with ADHD. They seem to go well together. There are other things that people with addictive personalities tend to get diagnosed with as well. So that's part of the energy which can be difficult to focus. But I have experienced both sides of this, the unhealthy and the healthy sides of the addictive personality, and I do have some ideas on how to hopefully focus it a bit better that I wanted to share. The first thing and the most fundamental thing is we need to be healthy in all the basic ways that they tell you. Exercise, food, meditation can help, sufficient water, good water, hard water, and sleep. Prioritize sleep. Once we get these basics down, and this includes no drugs, that includes no caffeine. Absolutely no caffeine whatsoever, no stimulants, no artificial stimulation. Nothing artificial is to enter the body. Once we get all these things, I think immediately we notice a difference in our energy. It becomes clearer. It becomes more able to be focused. And then from there, we need a really big goal, a decision, A lot of the time this comes from pain. If we experience enough suffering and we don't have money, we decide one day we're going to get rich. Or if we have enough pain in relationships and we keep failing at them, we decide one day we're going to fix ourselves and we're going to become better people, better social skills. A lot of the time, decisions or will comes from pain. But we need that. We need to know what the goal is. Without that, the energy is just weakened or scattered or given to places that don't benefit us that much, such as other people, working for other people, pleasing other people, doing things we don't really want to do. Unless that's your big goal, of course. But once we set the goal, whatever it is, to get as rich as possible, to get as proficient as possible at an art form, an instrument, a martial art, a sport, a hobby, a degree, knowledge, whatever it is, our occupation, whatever our goal is, it needs to be big, to be the best, to win this thing, to be the richest, to be the most powerful, whatever it is, it needs to be big. And then we take steps towards that every day. And the steps can't be 20 minutes, I'd say minimum. Every day, 7 days a week, no matter what, we take those steps. And then we slowly start to see our focus draws in. It gets more, it starts to see opportunity. It fails time and time again. But the more we fail, the more we get closer. And the energy eventually attaches to this idea and it can't let go. So that our whole existence takes it on as purpose. And that's when we succeed more than anything. Is when our daily steps towards the goal become purpose. But if we find ourselves drifting, usually it means we're not looking after ourselves, we're getting distracted because there are other priorities, or the steps we're taking are too much, it's too complicated, we start to drift. So make the steps easier. The 20 minutes a day towards the goal, make it easier. It can be too easy that we take it for granted, it can be too difficult that we get distracted. So that's part of the art form of this. But eventually, once purpose takes over, there's no stopping us. Thanks, guys.